Hello, welcome to another installment of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my first pull list for 2015 for the week of January 7th, 2015. So let's get right into it. Oh, man, it's cold in California. Well, not that bad, but it's cold. But out in the garage, it can feel pretty cold. So let's get right into it. So first up on my pull list is Aquaman and the Others, number 9. This Aquaman has been a good book. I've been enjoying it. Seeing how Aquaman's dealing with a team that's not the Justice League. I like the others characters that are in this, and this story arc's been really entertaining. So I'm still sticking with it, but Aquaman and the Others, really good book. Next up, we have week 40 of Batman Eternal. Batman Eternal's, I think, got 12 more issues left. I think it's going to 52. I'm way behind. I need to hunker down and just read through these. So hopefully I can get to that this month. But yeah, I'm just so far behind on the weeklies, which bums me out. But hey, what can you do? You have to live your life, right? Next up, we have Batman Detective Comics number 38. You take back your life is the slogan on the cover. I've been enjoying these kind of little stories from Detective, so I'm curious to see where this goes. But overall, I've enjoyed Detective in the run. The Tony Daniel stuff was okay. The stuff afterwards with Fabok and Layman was awesome and amazing. And I really enjoy this book. I really wish they would stick Arkham Manor in the end of it as kind of a backup story, because Arkham Manor is okay, but it doesn't really need its own title. But hey, who am I? Just a lowly guy on the pull list. Next up, we have Earth 2, number 30. Really enjoying the Earth 2 stuff, especially with what's going on in Future's End and World's End. Or not Future's End, World's End. So I'm kind of really excited for Convergence, which is coming up in a few months. So, but Earth 2. Then next up, we have Earth 2, World's End. This is number 14. Again, I'm a little bit behind, not so much on World's End. I got a little caught up, but I think I'm still about a month behind. So I'm really curious to see where this goes, but really enjoying it. Next up, we have the pick for my fiance. She gets Edward Scissorhands, number 3. Overall, Edward Scissorhands for me is not necessarily the book I really enjoy reading. I've read both issues that have come out. It's not up my alley, but it's definitely aimed at a certain type of audience. Again, there's 2 covers for this so far. I don't remember if there was a third. I'll have to call the other comic store Elusive to see if they got a copy, so I can get her all the covers, because she has to have all the covers. And this is the other cover for Edward Scissorhands number 3. Next up, we have Eternal Warrior Days of Steel number 3. Valiant, been fair with their books. Some majority of them they get this offset really good. Now they have a spattering of books and a couple crap books, but I've really enjoyed Eternal Warrior Days of Steel. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going through it. We got shorted our copy of Ferris 33, so I will be getting that as soon as we get it in. But we were shorted our copies of that. So, but hey, it happens. Next up, we have Hinterkind, number 14. I've actually enjoyed Hinterkind. It's been a nice kind of change up, in my reading, because it's a very, fantasy creatures, dwarves, elves, and fairies, and vampires, and all these different types of creatures in a world after humans have kind of destroyed it. So, yeah, I've been enjoying this title. Really fun. So. Next up, we have Jason Aaron's icon book, Men of Wrath, issue number 4. I really enjoyed this title. Jason Aaron, when he gets to do his own stuff, does really amazing stuff. Southern Bastards is just awesome, and I highly recommend that book. Men of Wrath is also very good. So, I mean, if you liked his scalp stuff, if you like Southern Bastards, if you're a big Jason Aaron fan, you should be reading this. And if not, then you should read it, because it's just a good title. Next up, we have Peter Milligan's The Names. This is number 5 of 9. It's been an interesting book. It's basically just kind of this guy in the top 1% society kills himself, but his young wife, he leaves kind of clues to his young wife and his son to figure out why he's dead and so on and so forth. So really, really cool stuff. I've been enjoying it. So it's a change of pace from superhero spandex, all that stuff. So next up we have the New 52 Futures End number 36. Behind, need to get caught up. But hopefully it's still a good read, even though I'm so far behind. But we'll see. The next up, we have a book that makes me cry every time I see it. Just a little tear, not full on like bawling, even though it might come to that towards the end. Is Swamp Thing 38. Every time I see an increasing number, I'm like, it's gonna end soon. It's so sad. Charles Soule has been doing such an amazing job with this book, and this book has been solid ever since the get-go from the New 52. Again, if you have not tried Swamp Thing, I should seriously recommend you go out and get those trades and check it out, because it's just a really, really good book. And what Charles Soule's been doing with it is just beyond imaginable, and the art is amazing in it. So, but yeah, Swamp Thing 38. So that was it for my pull list. Those are the titles that I brought home for my collection. Next up, we have the read list. These are the books that I'm reading to stay caught up and a little current on stuff that I find interesting and so on and so forth. But first up, we have Action Comics number 38. This is not the regular cover for Action Comics. DC is doing Flash Month, so Flash is the character featured on the variant covers. So this is the Flash variant for Action Comics. But if you like Flash, this is your month, because they're doing Flash variants. Harley Quinn is coming up in a few months, and if you're a really big Harley Quinn fan, I highly recommend contacting Ryan at Comics Conspiracy and saying, hey, I want to order a set of those Harley Quinn variants, and he'll have that posted up on comicsconspiracy.biz, I believe, at some point in the near future, so be on the lookout for that. I'll try and keep you up to date here and on my blog and stuff like that too. So, but Action Comics 38, action's okay. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 12. Spider-Verse is going strong. This is part 4 of Spider-Verse. I don't know how I feel about Spider-Verse. I think the difficult thing for me with Spider-Verse is the fact that a lot is going on, and it wants you to buy all the books that's associated with this. So it's really jarring, especially to read, because there's something happened in another book, and they're talking about it, but there's no real like glue that binds it all together unless you've read the other books. So not necessarily a big fan of this type of crossover event. It's not really a crossover event. It's Spider-Verse spawned a whole shitload of books. So yeah, but Amazing Spider-Man number 12, part 4, Spider-Verse. Still checking it out. So next up, we have Angela, Asgard's Assassin number 2. I can't even remember if I was really impressed with the first one. I mean, I don't think it really grabbed me. So this might be the last issue I read of this. So we'll see. But Angela got her own book again. Next up, we have a new number 1 from Marvel this week, which there'll be a couple more on this read list. We have, and I haven't watched it yet, the trailer for Ant-Man. If you watch Agent Carter Tuesday night, then you'll have hopefully seen the Ant-Man trailer. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'll hopefully be viewing that either later tonight or tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow, because I'm going to go to bed. But Ant-Man number 1 is out today. It comes with there's a shit ton of variants for this. A shit ton. There is literally a variant where the picture is big in your face, and then he's smaller, and then he's smaller, and then he's smaller. Like, it's like this weird thing, and it's like, I don't know, like 12 books. It's insane, stupid insane, and they all have the same barcode. So it's like, what the? So I don't even know if you can figure out how you have all the variants if you're one of those people that needs all the variants. But Ant-Man number 1, we'll see how it goes. Next up is an Image title that I've really enjoyed. I don't actually have it on my pull list because I've been trimming down the amount of books I get, and it technically should probably supersede some other books. I should take another book off and put this on. But it's already up to issue 4, and so I'm kind of just in like trade mode with this. I'll read it, but then I'm going to get the trades, and I'm definitely going to get a hardcover of this if it comes out. But that's Birthright number 4 comes out. Birthright's just this really, really great title that surprised me, and just it grabbed me and held my attention. It's kind of it took me back to being like a small kid, and imagining these different worlds and stuff like that, and going into those worlds, like those movies where a kid goes into like a hole in the bottom of a tree, and he comes out into this weird world, and the world comes back and into his world, but it's just really, really good book that goes back and forth from what happened to the small boy after he was not necessarily abducted, but taken to this other world, and then now he's back in the present, but he's 20 years older, and this warrior guy who's got ulterior motives, which are unveiling in this, but really, really enjoying. The artwork is amazing in this book. If you have not yet had a chance to pick it up, see if you can find a copy of it, first print, second print, whatever, at your local shop. If not, hopefully the first trade of this will be out. I'll try and look in online and see if I can find it. But yeah, Birthright, really, really good. Next up, we have Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, The Fade Out, number 4. It's noir, Hollywood, all the stuff from, just the, like, really, really good stuff that Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips do. So, Fade Out, number 4. Next up, we have Green Arrow, number 38, and it looks like it's a Green Arrow, Green Lantern book. I don't know how well this is going to do. We were at the shop today talking about crossover team-up syndrome, where a book seems to have a different character in it every other title that kind of just teams up with them, and it gets really fucking annoying and kind of jars with story. So I'm curious to see how they incorporate Green Lantern into this mythos that Green Arrow has in the DC universe. We'll see. Then next up we have Green Lantern number 38. What can I say? Godhead ended. I can't even remember what it did. I think Saint Walker put his ring back on. If you didn't know he took it off, then spoiler. But he puts it back on. And yeah, Godhead was okay. But I mean, it's definitely better than what else, the other stuff that's been going on in Green Lantern. But it's not as top tier as the John stuff was. So, but still reading. Next up we have Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, number 8. This book was delayed. The artwork is, I can't really stand it. I don't even know why I picked up this issue to read it. I think it's just torturing myself at this point. But we'll see if the story can catch some semblance of my interest. But Iron Fist, The Living Weapon. Next up is a book that I was actually really enjoying, and then it started to tie in with what's been going on with Spider-Man, which is Spider-Man 2099, number 7. Again, I think books really, really suffer when they have to cross over with something else, like an event or something, or they come out of an event like at the beginning or the midway through. And I think Spider-Man 2099 kind of had that, where it had this kind of good start to it, and then it's like, oh look, we're in Spider-Verse. So to me, it's not as good. Spider-Woman is definitely no bueno. But we'll see if Spider-Man 2099 can survive the Spider-Verse and still be a good book. Then next up we have one of the funniest things ever, because the first appearance of this character is worth more than the first appearance of Ryan Higgins' favorite character, which is Bebop. And this is the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, number 1. I picked it up, I think, to slightly torture myself, and I also picked it up just because it's Squirrel Girl, and I have to see how ridiculous this book is. Might not have an issue 2 I'm going to read this, but I'm going to give it a try. Next up we have a title that actually surprised me. It's a Vertigo title that came out, I think a month or two ago, with the 5-week month in December and the the last week being really sparse with books, and just it seems like a really long time since things have come out. But Wolf Moon 2 of 6 surprised me. I actually really enjoyed the first issue, so I'm looking forward to checking out the second issue. But it's definitely an interesting take on somebody who's hunting werewolves and kind of the werewolf mythos and stuff like that. So if you haven't seen this or heard about it or anything, see if your local shop has a copy of issue 1. I recommend checking at least issue 1 out. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in issue 2. Then finally we have the final number 1 that I'm deciding to read from Marvel. I think it's... What's that? Oh, there you yawn. Take a drink. I want to say this is the last one. I don't remember. Whatever. We have Wolverines number 1. See those claws coming out right there? Right there, the claws. It's an all-new weekly series from Marvel. Wolverine. I mean, it's Charles Soule, so I should be excited to read this. But I haven't been reading any of the other stuff. The Aftermath stuff from Death of Wolverine. So, we'll see. Wolverines. Number 1. I think out of all of the... Like, Ryan stopped me today while we were pulling books. And he's all, how many of these books? And he had the pile of Wolverines number 1, a pile of Ant-Man number 1, and a pile of Squirrel Girl number 1. And he said, how many of these do you think I'm pulling for subscribers? And I was trying to be generous. And I said, probably maybe 10 of this, of Wolverines, maybe 10 Ant-Man, and maybe like 4 of Squirrel Girl. 2 copies. 2 of Wolverines number 1 for subscribers. The rest, no subscribers for. That tells you how quality Marvel is at snagging people before these books come out. So amazing. There was a couple titles that I didn't actually get to take with me to read, which is starting off with Dark Horse's second shot right there for you people. Yeah! If you're at work, take mini shots. Dark Horse's Lady Killer number 1. Number 1 from Dark Horse. Had this lady in a pink dress, kind of Leave It to Beaver mom look, mopping up blood or something. I don't know. I was going to check it out. We only got a couple copies, so I was going to leave it and see if I could check it out a little later this week. Next up we have Legendary Star-Lord number 7. Star-Lord wasn't bad, and then I read issue 6. And issue 6 was pretty bad. So I don't know if I'm really excited for 7. Probably not at all, but Legendary Star-Lord number 7. We'll see how much this carries on. Then we had Lobo number 4 came out. Lobo's been okay. We didn't have enough shelf copies, so if I do end up reading it, it'll probably be finding some random copy somewhere. But Lobo number 4 came out. And then we had Punisher number 14. Really good Punisher. I've been really enjoying the story of Punisher that's been telling in this installment of it. I need to go back and read the older stuff, but Punisher 14's been Punisher, the new Marvel stuff's been pretty good. Then last up we have Trees number 8. Still have no fucking clue what's going on in that book. I think I'm reading it just because I'm already on issue 8, and at this point, I think the book will end before I figure out what's going on. But hey, who knows? So yeah, so that's my pull and read list for the week. For those of you interested as well, Death of Wolverine, oversized, like the giant or the big one, hardcover, came out today. If you go to my blog, there's it's the ad for Amazon there. According to Amazon, it's the number 1 graphic novel. Yeah, okay. So, recap. So yeah, other than that, not much else to mention. I'm hopefully going to get around to playing with some of the video quality on this blog post. So hopefully you'll get some better quality videos soonish. I'm just right now shooting on my little camera on my laptop. So gotta get it where you can, right? So but yeah, thanks for watching. please check out conspiratorbrock.com. That's my blog post. You can listen to me every week on the Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net. You can find that. You can also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. And you can help support the podcast I'm on and myself a little bit if you go to patreon.com/comicconspiracy. You can donate as little as $1, and that helps, and it goes a long way to helping us just have a little bit to do the podcast and all that stuff. So we do appreciate all those people that do donate and stuff like that. So and again, if you have any questions or you're curious or like, hey, I want to get this book and stuff and I want to support a local business, give the Comics Conspiracy a call. Talk to Ryan. You can see what he can do for you. If you call him and ask him an annoying question, he'll just scoff and whatever and ignore you. But hey, that's fine. So yeah. So hopefully you enjoy these pull lists. Remember, share this. Get it out there. Let people know you watch some red-headed, red-bearded idiot talk about his pull list every week. Thank you to all the subscribers for subscribing. Share, like it, leave comments down below. I try and stay on replying to those as best as possible. But for those of you, Happy New Year. Let's hope this is a good one, and I will see you next week.